Is it okay to wear 2 wristwatches at the same time? This is Herbert Norman Schwarzkopf Jr. Over his military career, he was awarded 3 Silver Stars, 3 Bronze Stars, 2 Purple Hearts, and the Legion of Merit. Herbert Norman Schwarzkopf Jr. became a United States Army 4-star general. At one point, he was in charge of the United States Central Command and led all coalition forces during the Gulf War. During his illustrious career, he earned nicknames such as Stormin' Norman and was often referred to as the Bear by his subordinates. In many photographs during Operation Desert Storm, General Schwarzkopf can be seen wearing 2 watches. On his right wrist, he was often photographed wearing a Seiko 7548, which is essentially a quartz predecessor of the Seiko SKX-009. The left-handed general wore the Seiko on his right wrist. The time of the Seiko was always set to Eastern Standard Time, which covers the time zone of Washington, D.C. His Seiko watch was well known, easily recognizable, and it was eventually nicknamed the Desert Storm Watch. The good general donated the Seiko to charity, which raised $11,000 at auction in 1999. On his left wrist, General Schwarzkopf wore something a little fancier, but the exact watch is shrouded in mystery. General Schwarzkopf has admitted in interviews that his other watch was set to the local time in Saudi Arabia, but I haven't seen him publicly acknowledge what brand this other watch actually was. His left-handed watch was 2-tone in color. It's most likely a Rolex Day-Date, or possibly a Rolex Datejust with a bracelet swap. But it has also been theorized that General Schwarzkopf may have just worn a simple, cheap, battery-powered 2-tone Citizen. But being that Schwarzkopf was a member of Mensa, the nerdy high IQ organization, and the fact he was in charge of the coalition forces in the Gulf War, I like to think Schwarzkopf would have been a Rolex man. Whatever watches Schwarzkopf wore, he was one man who could actually pull off 2 wristwatches at the same time. He became so well known for double wristing that Americans who are part of the watch fam have lovingly referred to double wristing as pulling a Schwarzkopf. But just because Indiana Jones wore a satchel does not mean that you can pull off wearing a man purse. Today, you will see plenty of goofy celebrities trying to flex by wearing 2 watches at the same time, but in reality, they can't really pull it off, can they? Instead of embarrassing yourself wearing 2 watches at once, or even worse, wearing 2 watches on the same wrist like a moron, perhaps you should just wear them as they were intended, 1 watch at a time. If you really need to track 2 time zones, I recommend getting a watch that can display 2 time zones, such as a Rolex with a GMT complication. Another question that's often asked among those in the watch fam is, does it look alright when you wear a smartwatch and an automatic watch at the same time on 2 separate wrists? Personally, I've struggled with this problem in the past. I thought I wanted to wear a smartwatch to stay connected and to track my fitness and sleep cycles, but I quickly grew annoyed with the constant alerts and phone functions being on my wrist. The constant unsolicited text messages and emails really became nothing more than distractions and demands on my time. I also felt like a fool wearing 2 timepieces at the same time while also carrying a phone in my pocket. I eventually dropped the smartwatch, and now I go with a simple fitness tracker that doesn't have a screen. A couple ones that I recommend are the Whoop Band or the Amazon Halo. By going with a simple screen-free fitness tracker, I can enjoy my watches, I don't look like a double wristing tool, and I can put my phone down when I don't feel like being interrupted. At the end of the day, the decision is up to you, but I'm here to tell you, if your name isn't General Herbert Norman Schwarzkopf Jr., you probably can't pull off 2 watches at the same time.